everybody, Mick from Mick Ties Travels. Right, just have another little chat about Thailand, what's going off in Thailand. Let me know if you're coming across to Thailand and things like that, because to tell you the truth, I live here now and I haven't got a clue what's happening. 1 minute Songkran's on and Songkran's off, and the funny thing is what they said a couple of weeks ago was Songkran were going to be on, but they said that so you're supposed to social distance and wear face masks. I don't know how that can work out in a water fight. How can you wear a face mask in a water fight? Anyway, just after they said that, they said that it's back on again. They said that it's back on again, but now, with a couple of weeks to go, they don't know whether it's going to be back on or off. And another thing about getting here to Thailand, I think from April the 1st, they've got rid of the first PCR test, what you have to take at the airport to get into Thailand. And I believe that you can come across from April the 1st and you don't have to be vaccinated, but you've still got to do 5 days in a quarantine hotel and take a PCR test. So even if you don't do your PCR test over in England before you fly, you still have to do a PCR test when you get over here. And I believe from April the 1st, it's one PCR test and then one antigen test. Now, to tell you the truth, I don't know how you register that antigen test. It's either got to be through that Thailand pass, but that's another thing that is stopping a lot of people from coming across here. I mean, like Cambodia, Vietnam, Malaysia, all around Thailand and all things like that are all opening, but here they're still treating it as a pandemic with all your PCR tests, and what's putting a lot of people off coming over here is the Thailand pass. Now, some people applying for the Thailand pass and then being rejected. So it's really, if you don't fill that pass in properly, you're just going to get a rejection on it. So a lot of people are going through agents and things like that to get the Thailand pass all done. But even that can be a nightmare. I can remember when I first come across here, it wasn't too bad. No, it wasn't too bad at all, because I come across on just a normal 30-day visa. And I got me retirement visa when I were over here, because I tried to get it over from London and things, and the Thai embassy in London, it was just a nightmare because everything was shut. So I thought, well, stuff it, I'm going to come across here. But you had to have a certificate of entry to get over here, and that was quite straightforward, because what happened then is within that certificate of entry you had to get your quarantine hotel. Well, that was already, everything was booked in on that quarantine hotel. Your meals were in, your PCR tests were in, your travel from the airport to the hotel, everything was in on that quarantine. But now what they've done is split it up a bit, and to get that Thailand pass, you have to get your own taxi to the airport. Not only that, you get your own taxi to the airport, you have to show that you've got the hotel, and you've got to apply for your PCR test separate. Well, it was all ready in before, because your quarantine hotel had a link to the local hospital, so everything was in on one package. But now you have to do everything online yourself and get it all done yourself, which is a bit of a nightmare. But they're on about from 1st of June, everything stopping. It going into a pandemic in Thailand. So they're on about it going into a pandemic, and sorry, an endemic, not a pandemic. So if everything goes okay on Songkran, if they open it up for Songkran, well then what they'll do, then they're going to monitor the situation for Songkran, and then they're going to change it to an endemic. Now, to tell you the truth, I haven't got a clue what Thailand calls an endemic and what we call in the West an endemic. I don't know. I still don't know if they're going to wear face masks even in an endemic and things like that. I haven't got a clue. Nobody said a thing about them. But it's just, I don't know. It's just you've just got to play it by ear. Now I'm trying to go back to England, and in October, and I'm trying to book flights so I can go over to England for 2 or 3 months, then come back, go over and see my family and everything. But even that's a nightmare, because even say England is all opened up, and getting over to England is no problem. It's the problem is when I'm coming back here. The problem is here when I come back, because I still don't know if they're going to have that Thailand pass. Hopefully, it did say from July, hopefully they're going to scrap it. If they scrap that, that'll be okay. And to tell you the truth, it's that Thailand pass that's stopping a lot of people from coming over here. Who wants to come over here on an holiday when you can come across here and do a PCR test? You could be shipped to an hospital straight away. You've got no say in it whatsoever. You could be shipped to an hospital, or you might be quarantined in an hotel for, I don't know what it is, 5 or 10 days or whatever like that. So whatever you've got to do, it's just like, who wants to go on an holiday when you've got that in the background? It's just a ridiculous state. They've just got to get rid of it completely and get everything back to normal here. They need to. Because apparently, another thing is that they've only had the total people that come across in 2019. During last year, they only had 3% of that total number. So they've just got to get things sorted out here, because it's just crippling the whole industry. Right, so that's it. It's just a little vlog trying to find out what's happening and trying to give you a little bit of information what's happening in Thailand. To tell you the truth, you might know more than me, because I listen to it every day, but every day seems to change, and you just can't make head or tail of it out here, to tell you the truth. It's just a ridiculous setup. But hopefully, if you are coming across here, come across here, you'll enjoy yourself. Actually, if you're over here and you've done your quarantine and everything like that, and you can go about, everything's fine. There's places where you can get drinks and all that. There's places where you can go, cafes and all that. A lot of places on the coast, a lot of hotels are shut. But you've got some very good deals with the hotels now. Very, very good deals. You can stop in a nice 4-star hotel for 15 quid a night, with bed and breakfast and everything. Very good, very good. But like I say, just getting over here. That's the problem, just getting over here. And try and fathom out how you get over here. Anyway, that's the little blog I'm doing anyway. So, anyway, try and do as much as I can with the videos. Please, if you like the videos, if you find them informative, let me know. like, share, subscribe and everything like that. As I said before, it doesn't cost a penny, but it just helps the channel a bit. And whenever I post other stuff on YouTube, you'll get the notification. So I'm openly going down to Bangkok in a bit, and I'm going down to Rayong in a bit, so that'll be all on. So I'm going to make a new blog on that, but I might get out on my bike before that and all. But we've had pretty not very good weather for last few weeks actually. It's been on and off raining, which is a bit funny like, because this time of year is normally hot and you don't get a lot of rain until later on. But somehow this season's been a bit funny. Anyway, thanks for watching, and let me know if you find anything different to tell me, and we'll have a chat about it. Anyway, thanks. I'll catch you later.
We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go